Hey y'all, Dana here. Today I'm going to be showing you a bluefish cake recipe. Sounds very interesting, I know. I've only ever had crab cakes, so this is going to be a very interesting piece for me. We really didn't get much footage while we were fishing. I didn't even get the bluefish on film. So today I'm going to be doing a cook and taste. Stay tuned. Welcome to the kitchen, y'all. It is voiceover time, and now I'm going to start by just filleting up this bluefish. Now, bluefish, they are very simple to clean, unlike, let's say, a sheep's head that have a very pronounced rib cage. Bluefish, they go through super fine, and it's literally like cutting butter. Alright, now that I got the first side done, I'm going to go ahead and do the next side. Just running my knife along the back. Alright, and voila! Nice and filleted. Now it's time to take the skin off. It is a super easy process. I'm just going to start at the end of the fillet, working my knife down, being sure to hold on to the skin of the fish, working your hand up. It adds a lot of leverage and it keeps the fish from just flying everywhere. Look at that bloodline on that thing. You can see it really on the skin too. A lot of blood in these fish. Alright, gonna move on to the next side. Alright, just trim up a little bit. I got a little bit of the stomach there. I don't want that in my fillet. Now, I was going to initially just take out the pin bones, so you can see I'm doing that there. Just, a little bit off. But then I flipped it over and I could just see that gnarly bloodline and I was not having it. So I decided to just go ahead and cut as much of the bloodline away as I possibly could. I'm not a fan of the bloodline at all. And then as soon as I filleted it, it went in a nice bowl of ice water. Salt water. Now that the bluefish have had a nice little bath in the salt water and are all nice and clean, I'm going to go ahead and just take them out, pat down all that excess water, get it all out of there. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it on my cookie sheet lined with parchment paper. Now, I'm going to bake mine. You can put them in the oven, you can grill them, it's really up to you. Time to season. I went super simple. I just used pepper and salt. You can use garlic if you want. I just wanted to keep it very true to the bluefish flavor. Now once it is all nice and seasoned, it's going to go into the oven at 350 for about 15 to 20 minutes. It really depends on how much fish you're actually cooking and the size of the fillets. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and chop about 1/4 cup of an onion. Since I have just one single bluefish, I don't need a lot of onion in there. Obviously, if you have more fish, you'll want to add more ingredients. But it's going to add a very nice depth of flavor. And it's not going to be overpowering once we cook them down. Just gonna go ahead and get a nice light saute on these guys. Alright, I got the onions going on the back burner there. The fish is done, so I'm just gonna take this fork here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and flake up my fish. Now you don't have to flake it all the way, because once you add it to the bowl and start adding all the ingredients, it's gonna break the fish down even more. Time to start putting it together. I'm gonna start by adding my bluefish. And then followed by 1 cup of panko breadcrumbs. I didn't use the full cup. Couldn't tell you what the exact measurement is. And then about 1/4 cup of parsley flakes. After that, I'm going to go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of Old Bay. I didn't have a clean tablespoon, so I just used 3 teaspoons. Time to add some wet ingredients. I'm going to go ahead and crack 1 egg in there and get it all mixed up. Alright, I'm going ahead and getting this all nice and combined. Before I get it too combined though, I would need to go ahead and add some more ingredients. So I'm going to start by adding my onions. They are nice and sauteed. They have a nice golden color to them. So they're a little bit caramelized, but they're not crazy caramelized. And I'm using a fork to combine all this. By using the fork, it'll go ahead and shred the bluefish even more. That way there's not like huge chunks of bluefish in each of the fish cakes. You want to know it's there, but you don't always want it to be overabundant. Now, I didn't really like the consistency that I had, so I went ahead, I added one more egg and just combined that really well, and it made it a lot more, not as coarse. And for my last ingredient, I'm gonna add the juice of half of a lemon. Add a little bit of acidity into that. Alright, we have everything nice and combined, so let's go ahead and start making some fish cakes. Now, I made them in the size of about your average crab cake. I've only had crab cakes like twice, so I was just kind of going off of memory here. I was able to get 5 fish cakes out of that one Bluefish. I went ahead and just flattened them out, made sure they were all even so they cooked evenly. The oil is nice and hot now, so it is time to go ahead and add the fish cakes. You'll want to cook them on medium heat for 3 minutes, and you don't want to touch them once you have them in the pan. You want to get a nice crust on there. Now, all 5 did fit in here nicely. I definitely probably should have added a little bit more breadcrumbs because at one point one of them does break on me. So it has been 3 minutes. It's time to go ahead and just start flipping the fish cakes. It's got a nice crust to it. And we're going to repeat the same on the other side. So again, another 3 minutes. This was the one that broke, so it gave me a little bit of trouble. Look at that. They look so good already. My fish cakes are nice and done now, so I'm going to go ahead and just take them out of the pan. I'm going to transfer them onto a cooling rack. It'll allow any excess oil to drip off of them, and it won't make the plate all greasy. Alright, time to plate. Alright guys, now it comes down to the final taste. I'm super nervous about this. I'm just going to go ahead and try it just as is. Actually not too bad. You can definitely taste the Old Bay in it. Now I'm going to try it with a little tartar sauce. I hate tartar sauce. So I'm going to just give it a little dab. It's not too bad. It's not my favorite, but it's not really bad at all. So this, it was definitely a do-over. Usually when we catch bluefish, I just either don't keep them, or if I catch enough, then we'll make fish dip out of it. But I think one of the key things is when we catch bluefish, we bleed them before we stick them in the cooler. Try to get as much blood as possible out. But overall, this is really good. I cooked it a little too long on the bottom. It's a little darker than I wanted it to be. But I definitely like the depth of flavor, especially with adding the onions. I wasn't initially going to add them, but good call on that one. Alright, now if you liked anything in this video, definitely different, not showing the catching portion because there really was nothing to catch. So hopefully next weekend things will go a little bit better. If you liked anything, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to ring that bell for notifications. I'm Dina, and I'll catch y'all next time. And eat the rest of this. That's too much.